Hey HDC, welcome to Daily Devos, and I'm Pastor Mikey, and today we get to read Philippians 1 verses 22 through 24. And we just want to say thank you so much for engaging with us in these Devos. Thank you so much for tracking along with us through this Philippians series. We hope that it's a blessing, and we hope that these Devos are merely a supplement to your own walk as you read the Word yourself today. And I get to follow up Pastor Tim Wheeler when he talked about Philippians 1:21, and it reads, "For me, to live is Christ, to die is gain." And I like how Pastor Tim called it a win-win statement because of the Apostle Paul's eternal perspective in life and in ministry. Today we get to read together the verses that follow this win-win statement. 22 starts with this: "If I am to go on living in the body, this will mean fruitful labor for me. Yet, what shall I choose? I do not know. I am torn between the two. I desire to depart and be with Christ, which is better by far. But it is more necessary for you that I remain in the body." Now I can only imagine how the Apostle Paul was feeling when he wrote this letter to the church, because he seems to be at a point of enlightenment that not everybody achieves. He asked the question that he evidently doesn't know the answer to. He says, "What shall I choose? I do not know." He's torn between his personal desire of being with Jesus, which he puts is better by far, and recognizes the necessity for him to be connected with the body of believers. Well, for today's Daily Devo, I want to encourage you to think of the last thing you were torn between. For some of us, it's simple and light. It's not as serious as this, but it's where do we eat tonight? Do we go to Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out? Where do you shop? Do you go to Walmart or do you go to Target? If you're doing a DIY project at home, what is it? Lowe's or Home Depot? You know, for some of us, it's the local feed shop or the Tractor Supply. And then we recognize that this being torn can go deeper for some others. Some of the questions you may ask yourself are, do I leave the house today? Should I go back to in-person church? Should I reach out for help? Or why am I scared to engage in these social things? These are real issues going on, and these questions that we ask ourselves can keep us torn whether or not to keep striving towards joy and glory or just giving up. I'm sure while the Apostle Paul was in prison and he asked himself the question, "What shall I choose?" he could have chosen to turn his back on God and all that he had come to know and understand, but he didn't. He chose to look at his life in a sacrificial way, to let the readers of this letter know that his desire wasn't to merely get out of jail. It was to be with Jesus. But he also had the understanding that if I am to go on living in the body, his work would still be fruitful and good for the kingdom. So today I ask you, what are you torn between? Is what you're torn between taking up more bandwidth in your life than being with Jesus or being dedicated to the church? What does it look like to apply the understanding that we should, in discipline, turn our attention towards the eternal view of being with Jesus for eternity? But as long as we're here on earth, we should seek to live like Jesus in community. Again, we're praying for you guys every day, and we hope that this series better equips you to reach your relational world.